Hi, fourth graders. Today I'm going to teach you that readers lodge big ideas in small moments, small details, and objects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reread a part of chapter 5 and we're going to look at what we think the big idea from this part is. So this is the part where the German soldiers come into the Johanssons' apartment searching for the Rosens. Okay, so as I'm reading, I want you to think about what are you noticing a big idea is in this moment. So it says, another German voice said, the Rosens' apartment is empty. We are wondering if they might be visiting their good friends, the Johanssons. Well, said Papa, moving slightly so that he was standing in front of Anne Marie's bedroom door, and she could see nothing except the dark blur of his back. As you see, you are mistaken. There is no one here but my family. You will not object if we look around? The voice was harsh, and it was not a question. It seems we have no choice, Papa replied. Please don't wake my children, Mama requested again. There's no need to frighten little ones. The heavy booted feet moved across the floor again and into the other bedroom. A closet door opened and closed with a bang. Anne Marie eased her bedroom door closed silently. She stumbled through the darkness to the bed. Ellen, she whispered urgently, take your necklace off. Ellen's hands flew to her neck. Desperately, she began trying to unhook the tiny clasp. Outside the bedroom door, the harsh voices and heavy footsteps continued. I can't get it open, Ellen said frantically. I never take it off. I can't even remember how to open it. Anne Marie heard a voice just outside the door. What is here? Shh, her mother replied. My daughter's bedroom. They are sound asleep. Hold still, Anne Marie commanded. This will hurt. She grabbed the little gold chain, yanked with all her strength, and broke it. As the door opened and light flooded into the bedroom, she crumpled it into her hand and closed her fingers tightly. So, as I think about that moment, I want to be thinking about what is the significant about this part of the story? So, how does this part fit with an earlier part? And how does it connect to what the whole story is really about? Why might the author have written in this particular way, including these details or words? And what is the character learning about life, the world, and what am I learning? So if we think back to the Tiger Rising, we want to think about what are some objects that are repeated throughout the story and what's a significant idea we have about that. So if you think back to the Tiger Rising, some things that I think of that are repeated objects that stand out is the tiger cage, Rob's rash, and the suitcase. So if I think about those things, what do all of those things, what's an idea I have about those for the story? So if I think about that, so a big idea that comes out in the Tiger Rising is that you have to let your feelings out and not trap them in. So then you want to think about what is evidence from your story that supports that and give a few details. So an object that showed this in the story is the suitcase. So remember, that wasn't an actual suitcase, but just a metaphor. So Rob kept his feelings inside a suitcase or himself and didn't let them out. Another object is the tiger cage. So the tiger was locked in the cage and was not able to come out. Lastly, the rash showed that his feelings were kept inside. So when these things were trapped, the character was sad and lonely. But when they let the tiger go and Rob let his feelings go, he felt not sad anymore and was happy. So if we think back to the passage that I just read in the story, what is a big idea that you were learning about your character? So I'm seeing that Anne Marie is becoming braver and braver. So it's not just the parents who are looking out for the Rosens, it's the kids. So like Anne Marie. So when Ellen can't undo the necklace because her fingers are frozen up with fear, Anne Marie does it. She jerks the necklace off Ellen. It must have hurt Ellen, but Anne Marie is saving her. So she is becoming braver and braver. If I think back to an earlier part of the story, another example that supports that is that when the soldiers stopped them from running on the street, Anne Marie is the one that does all the talking, and Ellen just stands back and doesn't say anything. And again, that's because she's Jewish. And so if she were to be caught or something were to happen, there'd be worse consequences for her than Anne Marie. So as you are reading your story today, I want you to think about all that you have read in your book club book so far. So what is the big idea that comes out by looking at small moments, small details, or small objects? Okay, and this is what you should respond to in your Google Doc. So think about the examples that I showed you and use that to help you write your response. Remember, as I'm looking over responses, make sure that you are writing in complete sentences with capital letters at the beginning of sentences and periods at the end. This is helping us practice our writing. Okay, and if you have any questions, make sure to ask your teacher. And also, another thing is that when you were done with your response, make sure to look back on what your teacher had commented on and fix anything that they ask you to do, to add anything to help you with your reading. Okay, so I hope you have a good day, and we will see you soon on video again.